was the 6 months. This is what it was previously. So you can see how long this list is under social, emotional, language, cognitive, movement, and physical. Here is the updated list in 2020. I mean, they've just completely wiped out half the list because they're realizing now, okay, we've been quietly abusing children. We're telling everybody to wear a mask, to treat children like they're all dirty and scary. I mean, just anecdotally, my husband and I, we had a baby nurse. She came in, she walked in a mask, and we said, oh, you don't have to wear that. And she said, no, I choose to wear this. I just thought to myself, my infant child is going to look up in the middle of the night and see a person wearing a mask that they don't recognize, and we just, goodbye, we don't need you in this house. You know, if you're afraid of my baby, we don't need you in this household.
Okay, so that is Candace Owens talking about a combination of a couple different things. Her own personal views on nurses being allowed to consent or not to wearing a mask, as well as guidelines for expectations of what a certain percentage of babies will be able to do behaviorally by a certain age. There's a mishmash of a lot of stuff there, Jeff. But I love the idea that her principal issue is you can't wear a mask, even if you think it's for your own safety or the safety of other patients, because in the middle of the night, my infant will look at you and not know who you are. Whereas if you had the mask off, then the infant would be like, oh, you're my nurse, that's where I know you from. Well, I feel totally comfortable now with whatever you're gonna do. I was gonna fight you otherwise as a baby. I was gonna ward you off because I can't see your face. But now I'll consent to all of this. That's how babies act. Right, right.
Totally
Jeff?
rational. Totally rational, yes. I love the irony of this being somebody who believes in hey, I believe in freedom, but you don't have the freedom to wear a mask if you choose to wear it. Very, very, very strange. Let me just say that, look, no, maybe I shouldn't say that about Candace Owens. That might be going a little bit too far. Okay. Something about being, her baby afraid of her face.
Yeah, we'll leave it to her to go too far. There's more than enough there that we can be very comfortable criticizing, including, by the way, that of all of the places to die on the hill of I'm going to have an issue with people choosing a mask. Again, we have moved so far beyond just how dare you require me to wear a mask. I'm now going to judge you. And she said, I'm not going to work with you. She's saying you don't get to do your job. This is not at Disney or Panera. This is a nurse in a medical context that you're now going to proactively discriminate against based on the fact that she's wearing a mask. They used to wear masks. COVID isn't the first illness. There were masks before. They've been brought into this conflict because they stopped germs. But if she was having brain surgery, would she have an issue with the doctor covering up then? How dare you wash your hands? Don't wear those scrubs. You should be wearing manure-stained overalls because otherwise you're implying that I'm dirty in some way. No, the whole thing is absolutely madness. And she is a thought leader on the right. That is the weird situation we found ourselves in.
Thought leader, that's a good one. That's a good one. No, John, you understand, we have to free the doctors from the mask. You realize that they can't breathe. They're not able to breathe when they're doing those 6 to 8 hour long surgeries. So we got to free them. We got to free them from the tyranny of soap. Free them from the tyranny of gloves. I mean, we can't have anything. No safety measures, because then if you're using safety measures, well, you're obviously you're weak, fragile, and not masculine enough we have freedom. We believe in freedom, pure freedom.
Yeah, and which the larger point that she was trying to make was that how dare the CDC put out new guidelines about here are some behavioral touchstones that you should expect for your baby. No, the only reason they were talking about that was for her to say we've ruined a generation because of masks. You'll know we did not ruin a generation because countless kids have become orphans as a result of their parents dying from COVID or having to experience their parents having an extended hospital stay, or the long-term economic consequences of what's gonna happen to those families who had to pay tons of money because of the cost of their experience at hospital. That is not the sort of thing that has ruined these kids or will have any lasting impact on them. It's that they once saw their parent in a mask. That is the thing that is going to wreck them. So she has her finger on the pulse of future threats to America.
Yeah.
Okay. A final thought.
Can I add one more thing? Yeah. The people that pay Candace Owens have also ruined a generation. I mean, when you look at what people are dealing with nowadays, with rising home prices, inflation, the fact that wages have not, kept up, the cost of college, student loan debt, etc. The fact that the planet is burning. In some cases, the ocean is on fire, or sporadically catches on fire. That's not a normal thing. Yes, that's ruining a generation. But no, it's not the current generation and the next generation that's being ruined by all of the impacts, the long-term impacts of those things that have happened on our world and our society. No, it's the fact that you're wearing a mask during a pandemic. That's the line. That's the line. We can't cross that line. We're too far. We're too far.
For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/The Damage Report. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.